want to hear a little bit of positivity, right? Yesterday we were all talking about my 40th birthday. I mean, that wasn't positive for me because I'm getting old. But we have a new segment now. It used to be the J.D. Sharp positive take of the day, but now, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the China Report with J.D. Sharp.
But there's no music.
Let's say China.
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 China. China.
听上妈妈讲讲，该去讲讲的，这做了吧，爸爸，这做吧。
Yes, ladies, you want an introduction, by
It's
the
really
way.
good. Yeah, I wish I spoke fluent Mandarin, but I don't.
What was Rush Limbaugh saying? I don't know. Anyway, I think he was saying he's a fool. Anyway, it is time
He's a
for
very, very wealthy fool.
it is time for the China Report with Mr. J.D. Sharp. J.D., take it away, my
Okay,
friend.
so a lot of the conversation about China is, you know, the basic understanding is that this virus started in a wet market in Wuhan, with a horseshoe bat giving it to a pangolin, who somehow gave it to someone who worked in the market. And a lot of information has come out. We haven't touched on it yet, but there is a virology lab in Wuhan, China. And it is the only biosafety level 4 lab in Wuhan, China. Is this music going to keep going?
Make it louder, Sean, please. Raise it.
Was this on purpose?
We really didn't discuss it.
No, you probably should have done that, Stein.
Why are you getting so hesitant?
It's this damn coronavirus, I tell you.
We're losing our minds. Make it louder, Sean. Don't. No, where did it go? There we go. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, J.D.
This guy seriously has important information.
No, so this was actually
Sean, cut the music.
Okay, all right.
Go ahead,
No, I'm
J.D.
done.
No, go. Don't get angry. Finish.
Clearly, you wanted to hijack this. That clearly was a giant joke
No,
here
it's
the
not
entire
hijacking.
time. Are you sure?
That's not. I'm
Are-
giving
are
you the
are
floor.
Are you positive?
Just because we had
Okay.
music playing, there was lovely
You
music in the
had
background.
very, very loud music playing in the
A
background.
lot of my dates play that music
that
all
I-
the time.
That's factual. That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me, Brian.
Well, it's a little background music.
That's your personal
Would you
fetish.
rather us play REM?
You're welcome to your personal fetishes.
My fetish?
Yeah, I would rather you play REM and then stop the music and let me actually
it's stopped now.
explain myself.
It's stopped now. I'm sorry if we offended you. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was Sean. That was not me. I didn't tell him to do that. I didn't tell him to play Sean.
Hey, Sean,
I didn't tell him to do that.
we'll chat later.
Go ahead. Go.
Sean's having an off day.
Too many jewels.
Go ahead, JD.
Okay.
Too many jewel.
Too many jewels. Okay. Anyways, so there's a biosafety lab level 4, which means it is the only lab in China that can actually work on viruses that don't have cures. And so what's been happening for X amount of years, and the United States actually funds this lab as well, along with a lot of different countries. But they've been taking these wild bats from these caves in Hubei province all over China, and they have been bringing them back into this lab in these very, very secure circumstances and studying them because of the SARS virus. Now, keep in mind, in Beijing, the SARS virus has escaped from these types of labs 5 times. So it's kind of a coincidence that the lab is roughly less than a mile away from this wet market. It's kind of a coincidence that the Chinese government basically said, yeah, this originated in this wet market. Yeah, and then suddenly they stopped. We've had several different doctors disappear. You've had several different quote unquote whistleblowers just disappear. The guy who actually there's a video and you can find it online where he actually is going into these caves and he's looking for these bats. He has disappeared as well. So the general thought process is right now that someone who worked in the lab accidentally infected themselves. This is not a biological weapon. This is not, in my opinion, an act of war, because in this lab they don't produce biological weapons. Because again, the United States has some understanding of what's going on. Now, that being said, if China China identified this virus on this bat and they isolated the virus was able to escape. Now, if you identify a virus that is as deadly as this one, I would imagine that whoever the doctor was or whoever the worker was would have told their superiors of that. So I would imagine that the country of China, the government, the communist government, would have an idea of what was taking place. So China basically blamed this virus on the pangolin-bat relationship. It said it was a zootonic when it was a coronavirus, but it was identified from special studies, at least in my opinion, it was identified from special studies, and China blamed this virus on the bat. Well, now China is saying that any type of information that comes out of their country is basically under scrutiny. I mean, like, no one can actually look into what's going on here. And so the common thought process is now among a lot of Trump's administration, Mike Pompeo, that this virus actually originated in this virology lab, this very, very high-end, high-tech virology lab in Wuhan, China. It escaped, and then China blamed it on this wet market. In the process, did not actually tell people what was going on. Now, maybe they became opportunistic about it, or it was embarrassment for them. But that's my update on what's going on with China.